What's up, guys? It's Gutex. I was laying in bed, trying to go to sleep, reading. Typically, I have no problem sleeping, but I just couldn't lay in bed any longer because I felt like the need to make a video because I just feel like I have a much clearer way of moving forward. But I guess before actually moving forward, yeah, you know what? I shaved my head. I shaved my head because I've been here in quarantine. I shaved my head because I was losing my hair and I was becoming self-conscious. So I fucking shaved it. You don't like the stupid. You actually should have seen it before. It was actually longer. It was actually more of a mohawk. But then I decided that I just wanted to just change it. So here, look at the back. You see, you can't really see it from the front. You think it looks stupid? I don't give a shit. Tough shit. Anyways, that out of the way. Because I know you motherfuckers will just keep on talking shit until I just say, okay, yeah, I shaved my head. Yeah, I was losing my hair. You know why? Because when you get older as men, sometimes we lose our hair. Newsflash. I've been in this shit for so fucking long. In case you're not aware, like we put out this, did this stream, me and Jackie, we put out this video, talking about Evo, being canceled and transitioning to online. My first Evo was 2003, right? Like, I'm 37 years old, okay? Cut me some slack. I look like shit. I'm sorry. But with that out of the way, I wanted to let you guys know why I couldn't sleep. Because look I'll be honest with you, right? A lot of you guys watching this are only... You're not really like FGC people, right? You don't, maybe you weren't going to, your locals. You never went to Evo. You never going to your, you were not leaving the house to go to tournaments. And that's fine. This is not, this is not for you. You were like casual YouTube fans of Excellent Adventures. You watched me and Mike for many years. Thank you for that. This is probably not for you. So you can just don't even worry about the rest of this video. When I first started on this path of trying to make it sounds fucking stupid when you even say it out loud, make a living as a professional in the fighting game world. When I started on this path in 2008, I don't even know how long it's been, you guys. You see? When I started this path, it was not about, playing... It was not about playing Street Fighter online with my brother, right? It was about trying to make it as a professional. Whatever that meant at the time, a professional player, commentator, content creator, it shifted over time. And I'll be honest, over the past couple years since me and Mike stopped doing the show, yeah, it's rough. Did I age 10 years since? Maybe. Whose fault is that? My own. My own. Because somewhere along the line, I lost sight of the vision, right? And I tend to get distracted with different ideas, different opportunities, events, and things that would come up or that have come up over the past 10 years. And because I've been quarantined, because I've been locked down, like most of you, like many of you, over the past, since early March. I don't even know how long it's been. I've had a lot of time to think, and a lot of time to think about where to go from here, right? Without offline events, large-scale offline events in the near future, that forces all of us to exist online whether we like it or not. Because regardless of how you feel about the virus, regardless of your political views and mine. Large-scale events as we know them are unlikely to be coming back anytime soon, whether we like it or not. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that it's time to pack it up? Not for me. You know, everybody's situation is different, but I'm so far down this path of being deeply embedded within the fighting game community that for me, as much as I love offline events, I have to make adjustments. And when I think about the adjustments that I've made over the years, whether it was, you know, switching from audio podcasts to doing, you know, making videos and doing this channel, to doing more events, doing streams, like it's always been a constant evolution. But now, and really, I mean, I guess I forgot to even preface this whole thing by saying that, like, I back in the day, over 10 years ago, you know, me and Mike would sit in a Yoshinoya after playing Street Fighter 4 in the arcade, and we would just talk about how to grow the FGC. And it sounds stupid. Maybe you guys know this, maybe you don't know this, but my intention was always to grow the FGC because I still believe, that in order for our scene to grow and for us to truly develop, and I don't mean us as in like cross counter, I mean FGC. In order for the FGC to grow, in order to have the audience develop and get it to the level someday where we could, you know, have millions of dollars, you know, in prize money for the top players, where we could be filling arenas. I mean, you know, certainly like Mandalay Bay at Evo certainly counts. I'm just saying, like, in order to get it to continue to make it grow, build the audience, get more people playing, build the overall fighting game community, there have to be more people that, in my opinion, have to learn the game, learn whatever game they want, but be able to watch fighting games and have a deeper appreciation than just seeing two guys on the screen, you know, to the untrained eye, just hitting buttons as fast as you can. Because clearly in fighting games, whoever presses the buttons the fastest is obviously the better player. You know what I mean? Like, this is the type of shit that this is the type of mindset that you know, me and plenty of other people in the FGC have been sort of trying to overcome for years. And the reason I bring it up is because I don't actually know if I've ever really talked about it on the channel, which sounds fucking stupid, to have not even, like, sort of shared the goal and the vision from the get-go. So I'm telling you, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if anybody, if that wasn't clear, because it's like so crystal clear to me. I just assumed that everybody knows, but obviously you're not mind readers. You're not mind readers. The people that I've worked with over the years are not mind readers. My team is not, they're not mind readers. And I realized that it took a pandemic for me to realize that this is all a cycle, and I have to get back to what my original mission and purpose and all of that stuff. I need to get back to that because I believe that to be, I believe it'll help me sleep better at night, not worry about whether I'm doing the right thing, and hopefully not worry about how I'm gonna like pay the bills. Because, like I said, I've been so far in this direction, and lately have been, not lately, I mean, it's been quite some time that I'm just unsure of what to do next. I've been unsure because there were so many options. I had too many options. In a good way. I'm not complaining. It's not a complaint. It's just an observation. Now, and I had so many options because I was living in LA. I could go to events. I could travel. I could do all this stuff. Well, not the case anymore. I'm left with far fewer options. And again, it's not a complaint. It's just an observation. So with fewer options, if the offline scene does not exist anymore in the way that I enjoyed it and hopefully will enjoy it in the future, then I have to do what we all have to do in fighting games. We have to adapt, improvise, adapt, and overcome, as my dad would say. And that means that if it's a cycle, because lately I've been seeing that because of this situation, I'm sort of in many ways back where I started. Obviously, I have you guys that watch, and I can reach people like you, and I know that I can reach more people like you now than I could 10 years ago, and I'm grateful for that. But with everything stripped away, I am forced to look at myself and be like, well, what? Well, no wonder you're struggling, Gootecks. What value are you providing for others? And certainly, there's a lot of value that's been generated over the years through me and Mike and doing excellent adventures and everything that we did over the years. Lots of value. But what about lately? What about now? What about moving forward? That's not necessarily there. And then when I think about my value and what value I can provide to, like-minded FGC people, thinking about how it's a cycle, I'm reminded that a lot of my value over the years, in my opinion, has come from a lot of the work that I've done in terms of educational videos and ebooks and training people and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny because now in the year 2020, it's easier than ever to monetize content, sell products and services over the internet. Trust me when I say, and I don't expect very many of you to have been around in the 2008, 2009 era, or even before in the era of, me putting out FFA Third Strike Ranking Battle videos trying to monetize through Amazon Associates ads, right? I don't expect a lot of you to remember that particular struggle. But back then, I mean, it really wasn't even that long ago. And I'm sure there's still a lot of you dumb motherfuckers out there that think this way anyways. But would it surprise you to know, you may or may not realize this, but a lot of people back in the day were really upset with good old Gootecks for trying to make a living through helping people through very controversial ideas like ebooks and audiobooks and selling one-on-one training sessions. Now, I think personally that a lot of the reason why that stuff is not as frowned upon is certainly because the world has changed. But it's also been because people like me were like sort of like pioneering that, like pushing that forward. But I remember back in the day, I used to get a lot of hate from that. And being, as you guys have probably seen over the years, like, I can be a little emotional sometimes, right? Like I'm being emotional right now, right? I'm sort of like sharing the feel of feeling hated on. And when I was younger, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out here that, maybe you get hated on, but there's not a lot of people that, like, if you haven't built up a substantial audience on the internet, you don't really know what real hate is, right? And I'm sure there's also lots of people who've experienced lots of offline hate that has nothing to do with fighting games. So imagine that, but just digital all the time about something that you love and care deeply about, right? Like, it sounds stupid, right? Really, we're just talking about like internet hate. And in the grand scheme of things, internet hate is nothing compared to real IRL offline racism type of hate, right? So I don't want to get that like twisted. Obviously, like people hating on the internet about trying to make money doing what you love is something that, we just have to sort of like deal with. And that was an issue for me before. And I feel like I carried this burden or this sort of guilt and fear about that because I was younger with less experience and sensitive and emotional and would take these things to heart. And I guess I'm just trying to give some context for, I guess, where I'm trying to take things now going forward. Because now, honestly, like, I don't care. You fucking hate, you don't hate the player, hate the game. If you want to knock the hustle, you fuck right off. I don't care. And I just have to tell myself over and over and over, who fucking cares what a bunch of random internet nobodies on the internet think about me or my hustle or my or my hair or lack thereof? Who gives a fuck? Honestly, I shit you not. That was one of the reasons why I shaved my head. One of the reasons why I even left it like this. So that I would subject myself purposefully to more random comments on the internet talking shit about me and looking like shit. So that I could get used to, again, withstanding that so that I can be stronger and give less fucks about what a bunch of, really anybody. Honestly, like, because step one, don't give a fuck about random people on the internet talking shit. Step two, don't give a fuck about people IRL talking shit. Right? Like, there's layers to this. And the reason why I wanted to make this video, and hopefully I can sleep afterwards, is because I'm trying to move forward mentally to get back to where I used to be, which is providing value for like-minded people, like-minded FGC people. And the way that I used to do it before is through educational training content and services and stuff like that. And lately, I've been like racking my brain trying to sort through all the fucking garbage in here. And I realized that I haven't been doing that, and I realized that one of the reasons why I haven't been doing that is I had the mental baggage that I'm still trying to get rid of about how to monetize properly and whatnot, and the uncertainty, like, oh, what is it? Do I need to update the book? Do I need to make a new book? Do I gotta like push training sessions because do I need to push training sessions, but then deal with fucking people hating because, this shit should be free. Fuck you, fuck your time, fuck everything about making money with fighting games. Well, you know what? Fuck you and fuck all of that thinking and fuck these limiting beliefs. And that's why I'm trying to do this. Because I actually recorded a series of videos. There's maybe like 5 or 6 videos. If you go on my Twitter, and depending on when you watch this, but if you go on my Twitter and you see I made a tweet saying, hey, if you have questions about like fighting games that you're struggling with, send them to me, because I was like spending time that night yesterday. I was going to try to update one of my books, Fighting Game Fundamentals. It's up on Amazon Kindle. But the reason why, I guess I had this moment of clarity last night because I got all these questions from people that were, they were good questions that maybe that honestly would take a lot longer for me to write out, because I'm not a writer. Just because you have books doesn't make you a writer. I'm not a fucking writer. I'm just a guy who knows shit about this one stupid little corner of the world called fighting games. And so I looked at these questions that are, like they're good questions for, for like, not like super beginners, but certainly not like intermediate players, but the fine line between the type of people, tell me if this is you, the type of people who've been playing fighting games for years, mostly online, mostly not going to offline events, but still having a love for fighting games. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like you? Because I think that's actually most of you. And so I took these questions and recorded a series of videos. Each of them, they were, I don't know, they're somewhere between like 12 and 18 minutes long. There's over an hour of me talking about these particular topics. Everything from, the big topics were like, how do you get better online? How do you get better by yourself when all you have is you and online because the offline world is gone? How do you improve your execution because maybe you can do all of these combos and setups in training mode, but you can't do it in a real match? And then there were other topics like, how do you stay focused in a long set, or how do you stay focused when your game plan isn't working? How do you adapt? What were some of the other ones? It was like, how do you stop yourself from going on autopilot or pressing too many buttons? And these are all, in my opinion, they're very good questions. They're not simple answers, because each of these videos is like between 12 and 18 minutes long. And I know this video is getting long too. So anybody who made it this far, thank you for your, thank you for listening. And so I recorded these videos, but here's the other thing. I'll get so caught up in all the shit that doesn't matter because I'm such a perfectionist because I'm a creative person and I've been doing this for so long and I have a very specific vision and I want things to look a certain way and sound a certain way because I'm a perfectionist. But here's the reality. And I know this. It's not really for you. It's more for me. It doesn't fucking matter. The details really don't matter. Just getting it like 80% of the way is really all that matters at this point. Because at the end of the day, the more time that I spend obsessing over making everything perfect is just time wasted, and people maybe like yourself spend one more day or week or month or realistically, who knows, maybe years. Well, you guys that could benefit from me helping you solve those problems, you're stuck in the struggle for longer because I'm too worried about getting things right or making things perfect. I was worried about I was worried about what people would think. I was worried about making things perfect. I mean, even just thinking about the videos last night, I was worried about who was going to edit them and I'm on what should be behind me on a green screen. But now I realize that shit doesn't matter at all. It matters a little bit, but it doesn't matter enough to slow me down and just kind of get some feedback. So, these videos are rough. My intention is to be able to provide value for somebody like you. And if you receive the value, that you would be willing to give some value in exchange. And so maybe I'll change my mind later, but basically I just want to offer the videos that I made. I don't want to maybe at some point they'll be edited and then there'll be fancy, there'll be something behind it. But that was the other thing. I mean, I was like, well, do I want to get another cease and desist if one of these publishers decides that they don't like the fact that I'm selling content that's about how to get better at their games? Do I want to get another cease and desist? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That was like a hurdle. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because for now, I think the move for me is to just take what I've already made with these videos, put at least a couple of them up for free for people like you to download, to watch, whatever, and then just sort it out later. Because in this new world, the more people that I can help solve these issues that I mentioned about how to train and execution and all this stuff, the more people there will be to, either enter online tournaments and all the potential that exists with that. And then, eventually enter offline tournaments and really start to truly enjoy and love fighting games in the way that myself and so many other people do, because we have a better understanding, and when you have a better understanding of what's going on in anything, you're going to have a better, a larger appreciation for it. So rather than trying to sit and try to think about how to make this thing perfect and figure out the business model behind that, I thought, you know what? Fuck it. who cares? Like, I'll just figure it out later. So, if you're interested and you want to check out some of these videos for free, then see, I didn't even get this far. I was just gonna say and I'm not even gonna fucking bother editing this. Why bother? Who fucking cares? If you made it this far, great. I don't need a fancy graphic on the screen because you already made it this far. There's a link in the description. You click there. It'll be free. It's probably gonna have you put your email address. Spoiler alert. I'm not gonna say your email address will not be sold, but there will be some follow up because hey, look it. If you go through these videos and you have like an epiphany or two, then there's probably a future service that you might be product or service that you might be interested in later in the not too distant future, such as one-on-one coaching with me. Spoiler alert, not free, not cheap. Good thing we don't care. Group training, which would be like far more, cheaper and probably better for most of you, anyways, because you get to interact with other players on your skill level. Or maybe it's an extended version of the series of videos that I made, which I believe I think the term, you heard it here first, the term online, the way of the online warrior. That has a nice ring to it. And so I guess click the link, put in your email. It's free. I'm basically just gonna set this shit up right now, go the fuck to sleep, and then hopefully wake up and there'll be people who watch this video and there'll be people who get to check out these videos for free, and we'll sort the rest out later. Because now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, I feel a little bit better. But more importantly, hopefully those of you that have been struggling, trying to figure out how to do these things on your own, hopefully these videos will help. And who knows, maybe I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Why would I give those away for free? Probably not, because here's the thing. It's really just the tip of the iceberg, right? I mean, I could do this shit all day. I could just, like, no joke. When I saw the questions that people sent, I'm like, fuck, I could talk about each of these things for like 20 minutes. And I realize I've gone on long enough. But I hope you guys also understand that not everything can be solved in like a 15-second Instagram story. Not everything can be solved. Video, when you're sort of like explaining a topic, or like some things don't actually need to be video, and some things don't need to be short. And obviously I'm preaching to the choir here, but anybody who's made it this far clearly does not have a short attention span. I guess. And also, hopefully you guys also understand that not everything that is video, actually you don't actually need to see anything, right? Like you could have had your eyes closed the entire time listening to me, and it probably is the same effect. So I guess that's just a long way of saying, I hope you guys get something out of these videos. And I want to thank you for making it this far, not just in this video, but sticking around with me on this channel for as long as you have. And I'm trying to get better at life and content and fighting games. And I hope that you also share that same mindset of personal growth and understand that it's a process, but we're going to get through it together. So, click the link below. Thank you for watching. See you later.